to Beware the Terrible, to the Regidrago called the Boulder Reflex, featuring a new Machamp from Lost Origin with the Crisis Muscles ability, allowed to add 150 more HP to this Pokemon if your opponent has 3 of your prize cards remaining. It can also do Strong Arm Lariat for 100 base damage for 2 fighting energies, giving you the choice of doing 100 more, causing this Pokemon to be unable to attack on the next turn. So we're using this card with our Coalossal VMAX to tank massive damage with its big HP, and also with our Stone Energy and Lake Acuity. We also have Oranguru's Primate Wisdom to put an energy from our hand into the top card of our deck, helping us do 130 damage with our Eruption Shot, and also attaching an extra energy onto our VMAX. This attack also helps prepare for our G-Max Boulder attack, doing 240 damage for 3 fighting and 1 colorless. To summon our Machamps, we're using our Dream Ball with Arc Phone and Oranguru to put it into the prize. We're also playing 1 Peonia to get our evolutions from the prize, and 1 Rod to shuffle back our Machamp. For the draw support, we have 1 Radiant Greninja, 2 Bibarel, 1 Research, 2 Marnie, 1 Schoolgirl, and 1 Birdkeeper. We also have 4 Vipapass, 4 Quick Ball, and 2 Capture to summon our basic Pokemons, 2 Incense and 3 Ultra Balls to search for our evolutions, 1 Escape Rope, 1 Switch, and 1 Birdkeeper for the Switch, 1 Boss's Order for the extra power play, 1 Manaphy for the bench barrier, 1 Raihan for the extra energy, 1 Grant for the damage boost, 1 Cheryl to recover all damage from each of our evolution Pokemons, discarding all energies from the Pokemons that were healed in this way, 1 Paw Pad to recycle our supporters, 1 Training Card to retrieve our basic energies, 3 Stone for the defense buff, and 6 basic fighting energies. We also have an alternate list that replaces the Manaphy with a Falinks, helping us kill a Miltank with Grant in 1 hit. It can also do Cliff Edge formation for 1 fighting and 2 colorless, hitting 60 base plus 160 more if your opponent has 1 prize remaining. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay! Okay, let's go for our first game versus Giratina V-Star with the full-on Lost Box playing Cramorant. They have Radiant Greninja as well with the Mirage Gate engine, and they got also Sableye. So Sableye is the craziest card right now. They get to place 12 damage counter in any way they like every single turn, as long as they have 10 cards, 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. And they also get to play Star Requiem for an instant knockout, using effect of an attack to kill our Pokemon. So we actually cannot we cannot deny them the knockout with our Stone Energy and Lake Acuity. Reducing damage is not going to do anything because they have Star Requiem to basically do a fast kill. If they get their V-Star early, if they do the V-Star power to kill our Coalossal VMAX, we may have to evolve our Machamp stage by stage with that 1 copy of Machamp and 1 Machoke in the deck, if we are lucky to get it inside the deck. Otherwise, we would have to play a Peonia to get it out, or even a second VMAX just to kill the first Giratina. So Giratina is going to be a big issue just because they can do the Requiem early. If they, if they are able to pull it off fast, then they can deny us the prize draw. If we can't draw cards from the prize with our Coalossal, then we cannot use Dream Ball to summon our Machamp. Then we are forced to evolve it stage by stage. So we got our Bibarel. We're going to do Industrious Incisor for 5 cards into our hand. We actually had to discard Cheryl, I think, from our hand, and a Birdkeeper. So I'm not sure if that's wise, because I don't think we have a Paw Pad for this game. So this is one of the earliest build, and playing a Paw Pad for a Bibarel engine would actually be really smart. So Bibarel needs Paw Pad just because you have to discard, you're forced to discard whatever you have in your hand just to draw whatever you need at the right moment, right? If you need a switch card right now, you're forced to discard the supporters that you might need later on in the game. And that means you need to shuffle them back into the deck with Paw Pad so that you can actually have those resources back in the deck. And if you need it, like for example, a boss or a Cheryl later on, and if you don't shuffle them back, then you're screwed, right? You won't be able to use those effects anymore after discarding them. So Bibarel requires big discards from your hand, and that means you need Paw Pad and Ordinary Rod. If you don't play those cards, you cannot actually recycle your Pokemon and supporters, you cannot recycle your energies, and you're done for. We got only 1 training card for Greninja, and also to get those energies back for Machamp, because Machamp actually needs 2 energies. If you play a Raihan, you still need an energy from your hand. So it's not doing a lot of damage with Strong Arm Lariat. It's only 100 base, but you get to do 100 more if you choose to not attack on your next turn. Because if you want to do 200 damage with that attack, it specifically says that you cannot attack on your next turn. You have to do a switch and a retreat, or a double switch to be able to attack with the same Machamp. Otherwise, that Machamp is not able to attack. It's kind of like Zacian's Brave Blade, except it allows you the choice of allowing it to attack on the next turn if you only do 100 damage this turn. So they are saving our VMAX with the escape rope because they actually need to play. They need to play a Colress and also a boss to be able to kill our VMAX, because they need 10 cards in the Lost Zone to do the Star Requiem, right? Star Requiem is actually quite difficult to pull off early in the game as well, just because they need all 10. They need full on that many. They need the maximum amount of cards in the Lost Zone, right? I don't think any other cards need more than 10. If you have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can play Fantina, Star Requiem, and Lost Mine, Sableye. I don't think there's any other cards that require more than 10. So they can't do a boss, they can't do Colress at the same time, and I don't think they played a Colress for that turn. So they can't even do a Mirage Gate. Let's just play Research and try to dig out our Switch card. If we can dig the Switch card, we got our first prize with maybe an Escape Rope or a Switch. With our Eruption Shot, my bad. I think we can actually attach an energy from our hand. So let's just do GMAX Boulder and play Oranguru for the Arc Phone. If we got an Arc Phone and Dream Ball in our hand, we should be using it. We should be using Primate Wisdom for that instead of the energy. We got the Training Court, so we should be discarding the energy instead of the Lake Acuity. I don't know why I chose not to draw anything. We should be getting like the Coalossal and discarding it from our hand with the Research. But oh, we wanted to play Bibarel. Right, we wanted to play Bibarel. So that's why we did not draw any Pokemons in our hand, because we could actually do the Research after the Bibarel. But that would be quite silly though, wouldn't it? Because we could actually discard the cards that we need if we don't get the Coalossal out. Because I don't think it's smart to play a second Coalossal. Always play only one VMAX for each game that you do, because if you have the first VMAX knocked out, then your opponent has 3 prizes remaining. That means you're forcing them to kill 2 Machamps and another Pokemon, right? We only have a Falinks to fall back on, but Falinks is actually doing 220 damage for 3 energies. If you get to play Raihan at the right time, you may be able to pull off the 3 energy attack to do 220 damage when your opponent has 1 prize remaining. It's not that easy to pull it off though, but Falinks is mainly there to kill off Miltank. If you play Grant, you get to kill Miltank with the weakness, doing 60 damage for a knockout. Okay, we did our second Bibarel, and now we're gonna do Research to discard the Machamp and the boss, which is terrible. So that's why I say we should have done Ultra Ball to get something out. That way we wouldn't be discarding the cards that we need. Even if we're drawing less cards with Bibarel. So sometimes drawing less is a good thing. So we got the Escape Rope, we got the GMAX Boulder. If we saved the energy though, we may be able to do not just Eruption Shot for a knockout, but also attach an extra energy on the Machamp. You'll see later that we actually made a blunder on the last turn, because we could have done an extra energy on the Machamp. Eruption Shot gives us a knockout anyways on the Giratina. 130 is enough to kill off the basic. So they would not, I don't think they would be putting the Giratina in the active. So whatever we kill, whatever we are up against, Eruption Shot is enough to kill, is enough for the knockout. So we should have done Primate Wisdom for the energy and then attach from our hand onto the Machamp to prepare for the next turn. Because now Machamp cannot attack. If they somehow the boss to trap us again, Machamp would be stuck in the active, and we are stuck. We are forced to pass the turn doing nothing because we run out of our switch cards. I don't think we have any more switches. They normally would be targeting your Machamp first if you have both the VMAX and the Machamp in play and your opponent hasn't drawn a single prize yet. They would be probably aiming to kill off the Machamp before it gets to use Crisis Muscles to add 150 more HP to itself. Because if your opponent has, once your opponent kills the VMAX, that means they have 3 prize remaining, and Machamp gets to have 150 more HP, and they need to kill the Machamp with 300 HP, which means they need to kill another VMAX just to draw 1 prize. So we get to play 3 VMAXs for this game. We get to play 3 VMAXs for every game using our Dream Ball combo if we play our VMAX right. If we use our Eruption Shot for the knockout, if we use our Arc Phone, Dream Ball, and Oranguru the right way, we can actually play our Crisis Muscle very easily. And Machamp is not doing, is not doing a lot of damage, but it's not bad though, because you're doing 200 damage at least. If you choose not to attack on the next turn, you can actually play a switch and a retreat, as I said. So it's not perfect, but there are still ways to get around that. And if they play like a colorless Pokemon or a electric type, so the good thing about fighting type is that you are able to hit the weakness against not just poison type Pokemon, but also electric and colorless. If they don't have a Dunsparce, you actually get to kill a Arceus with 1 hit. So that's the power of your fighting type. The fighting type is the most powerful in my opinion, except if you're up against a psychic type, right? If you're up against a psychic or a ghost, you actually have to do 30 less damage. I suppose that's why they're balancing it out. It wouldn't be fair if you are, if you have 3 weakness, 3 types that you get to hit for the weakness and no resistance, right? So we are actually strong against, not just poison, not just colorless, but also electric type. That's why colorless Pokemon has Dunsparce now, and that's why fighting Pokemon has the resistance, has the psychic type resistance. My bad, psychic Pokemon has the fighting resistance. Okay, here comes the V-Star. I'm pretty sure they have 10 cards in the Lost Zone by now, so they're either gonna do Cramorant. I think they actually hit with Cramorant first. There we go, 10 cards. So they can do Star Requiem for their first knockout. And that means we actually need to play Strong Arm Lariat. Okay, they're doing that. They actually are doing that. Star Requiem, there we go. So they are getting through, cutting across everything. We got a Lake Acuity in play and 2 Stone Energies. So they're cutting across everything. But now we actually get to play Crisis Muscles. We have 300 HP and they are doing 20 less damage with not just the Stadium card, but also our Stone Energy in play. So they essentially need 340 damage to kill off the Machamp. And Choice Belt is not gonna work. Choice Belt is not working against a 1 price card. So against the Coalossal, they can play Choice Belt for the 30 extra damage. That means, if they don't have a Choice Belt, is the same as if they can't play a Choice Belt on your Machamp, is equivalent to them playing a Choice Belt against the VMAX. So for this game, we don't have a Manaphy, we have a Falinks instead. Falinks helps you kill a Miltank. Manaphy helps you protect your bench against Greninja, against Amazing Kyogre if they play Mirage Gate, against Urshifu with Lost City. They can play Jolteon with Lost City as well. So a lot of those bench snipe cards are back thanks to Lost City. They can boss your Manaphy and lost it early in the game, and then after that, snipe your bench over and over and over for the knockout. And not just losting the Manaphy, but every other card as well. Okay, we got our Primate Wisdom. We're gonna do our Arc Phone Dream Ball comp. Oh, we actually did it on our last turn. We don't have an Arc Phone in this in our hand on this turn. So we have to draw the Dream Ball right now. We did our Arc Phone on the last turn, and now we know where the Dream Ball is at in the prize. And we're gonna draw it for a direct summon. We're gonna summon our stage 2 Machamp, another copy, our second copy, get it into play directly with that crazy Dream Ball card. I love it. Look at that. We actually did it. We did Arc Phone Dream Ball and we pull it out from the prize for another copy of a 1 prize VMAX. A 1 prize VMAX. Double Machamp for 300 HP each. Now they need to kill 2 more VMAX in addition to one more Pokemon, because they have 3 prize remaining, so they need to kill 2 more VMAX and another Pokemon just to win the game. If they don't play Sableye right now, they're not able to win that easily. So Sableye is going to help them a lot. We got Grant though against Sableye. We can play Grant to help us kill the Sableye without doing 200 damage. So 130 minus 30, because Sableye is a psychic type, that means it's a ghost type, my bad. That means it's resistant to fighting. We are only doing 100 damage with the Grant. Otherwise, without it, we are doing only 70 damage, and 70 is not enough to kill the Sableye. It has 80 HP, 10 less, 10 more HP than we expect to knock it out. Strong Arm Lariat is not quite enough to kill off the Sableye, unfortunately. So that's why we need a Grant in this deck. Choice Belt is not helping you do extra damage against 1 prize cards. It's only helping you do extra damage against V Pokemon. That's why Grant is so much better. Grant only works for your fighting type Pokemon only though. So Leon, I would say, would be a better card pre-rotation. But Grant allows you to keep on recycling that card. You get to keep on retrieving and using it with by discarding 2 cards from your hand. You get to retrieve and recycle, right? That's the power of Grant. It also helps you discard for extra draws with your Bibarel. If you have, for example, like 2 VIP Pass in your hand, you can actually play the Grant. You can use this effect to discard the item from your hand and put it into your hand. That means you get to draw in 1 extra card with your Bibarel. So they actually conceded because I don't think they have a Mirage Gate or enough energies in their deck. Whatever it is, they just conceded because maybe they couldn't do the switch. Or they don't have a Sableye. Because Snorlax is not enough, right? They need 2 strikes with the Snorlax to kill off 1 Machamp. And Machamp actually gets to do 100 damage to kill off the Snorlax. Because it's a colorless type and they don't have a Dunsparce. So Strong Arm Lariat is enough to kill off... to kill it off without having to do 100 more damage. So we're gonna get our Coalossal right now and attach the Stone Energy. I don't think we can afford to get anything else. We may choose to play our Greninja and draw 2 cards. I don't know. I think it's better just to get the V. Let's just get our V. Oh my god, we did our... Okay. Oh, this is the fuck up game. This is the game where I fucked up really, really bad. Okay, we played a heavy ball. We played a heavy ball for this game and screwed up the Dream Ball. That's why now we don't have a heavy ball. Now we replace the heavy ball with a Peonia. So no more heavy ball because heavy ball shuffles your prize. And that means that Arc Phone, the Dream Ball, is not going to be at that particular position. It's not going to be where you placed it. This is the fuck up game. We got our heavy ball in our hand and we made the terrible mistake of playing it. We got a Marnie. Okay, I just realized that we got a Marnie, so we should be playing, we should be using our Quick Ball for something else. I'm not sure if it's too risky though, because if we don't get a VIP or something with the Marnie, we would probably be getting something, right? We got 4 VIP, 4 Quick Ball, and 1 Capture. Well, 2 Capture. So we got a lot of ways to summon our V card. And we should be getting the Oranguru, honestly, because we already have our Arc Phone and Dream Ball in our hand. So that should be the priority, to put the Dream Ball into the prize as early as possible. They are playing a Regigigas though, so we shouldn't be evolving the VMAX. If we evolve the VMAX, we get to knock out their Pokemon much faster, because Eruption Shot is doing 130 damage. We get to kill them for only 1 energy if we have an extra energy in our hand to do Primate Wisdom with. But they are doing a knockout with Regigigas much faster. They just need a Choice Belt, right? Choice Belt with Regigigas gives them an easy VMAX knockout if we don't have a Stone Energy attached. If we have a Stone though, they need the Powerful. So I think we may still be able to tank 1 hit if we play the VMAX. But if we play the Stone on the basic, we can survive much longer and also deny them that extra 1 prize. So I don't think we should be evolving the Coalossal at all. We should definitely keep it as the basic and use Searing Flame for the knockout, because 90 damage, well, it's not actually enough, is it? If we play Grant though, it would be enough, right? Grant, we are hitting the weakness against Ilaki and Gigas, So if they play either Eleki or Regigigas, we can kill it off with Searing Flame for only 90 damage because you are hitting for the weakness. So if you notice, if you paid attention on the last turn, we actually put the Dream Ball on at the first position of the prize, and you're gonna see later that we actually draw from the same position and did not get a Dream Ball because we shuffled the bloody prize. We shuffled the prize with our Heavy Ball, which is just terrible. The worst mistake that I could have done for any game, but you learn, right? You learn from your mistakes, I guess. Was a really shitty game because we not only made that early game flaw, early game fuck up, but we also made another mistake after this. You'll see that we made another terrible mistake. I don't know. We should be more careful, right? So always think it through over and over before you play any card, before you do anything. Think it through over and over. Don't be like, oh shit, I should have done that. That's the worst feeling ever, isn't it? Okay, I don't think they're gonna play a boss. If they kill our Bidoof, we can't actually draw cards that easily, but we can play a Raihan. And Raihan means we got our first knockout with the Coalossal. We could have done the Dream Ball this turn already, getting a Machamp into play fast if we played our cards right, but we don't have the Dream Ball at the first position now. You'll see that Dream Ball is not there. Oh my god, it's just, we could have done our Machamp. We could have benched Machamp on our first knockout. Like, that would be so delicious. Okay, we don't have Menifee for this game. So Terra Spark is able to kill the Machamp on the bench. So we need to either evolve fast or, well, we need to do something. So I think we played Greninja. Okay, they gave us a Pokestop. So we wanted to discard a energy from our hand or from the top 3 cards of the deck. So that's why we played the Pokestop. We had to draw with Greninja right now, I'm pretty sure, because if we don't, we cannot play Raihan. If we get an energy from the top 2 cards of the deck, we can actually attach it to the Coalossal and also play the Raihan for the Rare Candy. So for this game, we don't have a Machoke, we actually have a Rare Candy, which is a bit more risky than your Machoke, in my opinion. Because Rare Candy is much more difficult to pull off. You need both Rare Candy and the Machoke, the stage 2 in your hand on the same turn. If you don't have, for example, a Rare Candy or an Incense, you cannot do it. Whereas with your Machoke, if you evolve stage by stage, all you need is an Incense. All you need is an Ultra Ball. Right? Every turn, all you need is an Ultra Ball. Is a bit slower. The evolution is a bit slower than your Rare Candy, but I prefer it that way just because if you're evolving from a Machamp, if you have a Machamp on your bench, they can quite easily boss it early before you can Rare Candy evolve it anyways. So might as well just evolve it stage by stage. Okay. It may be wiser to play the other Machamp though, the one from Champion's Path, because that would actually confuse our opponent a little bit. They may expect the other Machamp. I don't think they would though, because like I don't think there's any other Machamp worth playing in standard anyways. The other Machamp actually does quite a lot of damage though. It does 20x damage for each fighting Pokemon in your discard pile. That means if you have enough of a VMAXs discarded, either from your hand or from the knockout, you can actually do a lot more damage with your Machamp. But I don't think we have that many Pokemons. We don't have that many fighting Pokemons in his deck, not even in play. So I don't think our opponent is going to expect that Machamp from Champion's Path. Okay, here comes the Regi, and they can't actually kill the Coalossal because we are not playing a VMAX. That's why we should not be evolving the Coalossal. So we got our Bidoof on the bench, which is great. So the Pokestop is really helping us. I don't think we can So we didn't get our Dream Ball as you saw, but we at least got to play the Heavy Ball for the Bidoof, and that's saving us, you know, one turn to get our Bibarel out. And if we got the Bibarel, we can attack on the next turn. We can't attack though. If they knock us out this turn, oh, they're not getting a knockout. Not even with the Choice Belt, because we got a Stone Energy attached. So they're only doing 160 damage. And they need 20 more to kill the V card. So we got an extra turn to play our energy. We have to attach the energy right now. Cheryl is not going to do much, but we should be playing it this turn though. I don't know if we should be playing it right now. I think we should be saving it for when Machamp is heavily damaged. Let's just save it for later. I don't think it makes sense to be playing the Cheryl right now. So let's do our Quick Ball or Ultra Ball. I don't think we need a second. Well, we actually have the Dream Ball in the prize. We don't have a Peonia for this game. Because we actually didn't play one. We play Heavy Ball instead. So eventually I decided against Heavy Ball because you're shuffling the prize. It doesn't make sense to play Arc Phone, Dream Ball with Heavy Ball. It's just the, you know, it's just wrong. It's all kinds of wrong. That's why I eventually played, added a Peonia instead. If we got our basic in the prize, we can play Peonia to get it out. Possibly, because we're getting we're only, you know, gambling, risking. We're only, you know, drawing 3 cards from the prize that are face down. That means we can't actually look at what cards that we draw. And we have to put cards back into the prize as well. So we're getting another knockout this turn thanks to Coalossal. We got the energy for Machamp, so we should be good. We need to somehow put that Dream Ball into the prize by the next turn. Because otherwise we're not getting our second Machamp. Still no Dream Ball. We have it inside the prize, but it's just not showing up. So we got 3 copies of the Machamp for this game. Eventually I decided, you know what, 2 copies is enough. If we play 2 copies in a game, then we would be able to do a triple VMAX, which is kind of enough to win the game. We don't need a 3rd copy. The 3rd one is basically there for security, and eventually I really decided we need more cards to make the deck a bit more consistent. So we need Pulpat, more support cards, more Marnies, because we got stuck not being able to draw, and we are forced to play our Heavy Ball to get the Bidoof. Otherwise we would be able to play Marnie or something else immediately after doing the Raihan without having to get flustered about the Bidoof knockout. Because Bidoof got knocked out early in the game. I don't think we have that many switch cards in this deck as well. We got Birdkeeper. I think we actually have it though. We have 1 Escape Rope and 1 switch, but we don't have that many supporter cards. We have 1 less Marnie and maybe no Schoolgirl. Okay, here comes Regidrago. And they got full Regis in play, and now they get to play, I forgot the attack, Draco Meteor, Draco Rend, to knock out our active. And they're actually playing the ability twice. For some reason, they chose to use the Scope of Net right now. I don't know why. Because maybe they don't have a Regi in their hand, right? Maybe, oh, they run out of their rods. No more rods, so that's why they did that. No more rods, that's why they are doing the Scope Up Net to prepare for the next turn. Because they may not get the Regidrago back onto the bench after that. You know, if we knock it out this turn, they may not have anything on the bench later on. And bad thing about Ilaki is that they have to discard all lightning energy from that Pokemon. If they use Terra Spark to target your bench, they have to discard the energies. And that means they need to keep on playing Regigigas' ability to reattach those energy from the discard pile, otherwise Regieleki cannot attack. So they need the full bench every single turn. Okay, we can do the knockout this turn, but are we able to get the Dream Ball? That's the question. Are we able to play our Arc Phone right now? We should be putting only one card into the deck. But we chose to put the Bidoof and the Energy. Okay. We're gonna play the Pokestop after the Bibarel. We got a Marnie. Let's do the Pokestop right now. Oh my goodness, we just discarded the Bidoof back. That's terrible. Oh well, we should be getting our Arc Phone. We need our Arc Phone, so let's just Primate Wisdom the Dream Ball into the top deck and then play the Marnie. So if we get a Dream Ball and Arc Phone with the Marnie, we should be able to play our second Oranguru to get it into the prize, but we didn't get it. We got no Arc Phone, unfortunately. We're just gonna do our second Wisdom. So this is quite terrible because now we don't have an Arc Phone. We still have it inside the deck, but for some reason couldn't draw it out. So don't waste your first one. We got the Dream Ball. We got the Arc Phone on our first turn, and now we couldn't play it. We couldn't use the Dream Ball because it's shuffled. It's stuck in the prize somewhere, and we don't know where it is. This is just terrible. It's not there either. Look at that. It's not there either. Oh my god. This is just terrible. They need 2 more strikes though. They need 2 more hits to kill off our active. We cannot attack this turn because we just did 200 damage to the Regidrago. And they got another Drago onto the bench immediately. So I don't think they're playing Claras because they got a bit panicky on the last turn. They were a bit panicky. That means, you know, that means they're actually playing the Regigigas' ability more urgently, and it shows that they don't have a Clara. Okay, we're gonna do our Greninja to draw with the Capture. So Capture doesn't actually work that well in this deck because it only helps you satisfy the colorless cost for your Coalossal VMAX. If you get it late in the game, you're not going to be able to use it for your Machamp. You still may be able to use the Capture for either Oranguru to attack or even your Falinks, because Falinks needs 2 colorless to kill to do 220 damage with. Cliff Edge formation actually gets to do 220 if you play that Pokemon at the right time. So if your opponent kills, for example, your VMAX, 2 of your Machamp after that, you can play your Cliff Edge formation with your Raihan for 220 damage for the final kill. So if they get past your VMAX and your 2 additional VMAX equivalents, the 1 price VMAXs, you got your final, final trump card to use for 220 damage for the final knockout. You may not be able to pull it off though because you need 3 energies to attack with, and we only have that 1 Raihan, so I don't think it's that easy. But we are buying a lot of time with our Machamp. Machamp actually gets to buy you a lot of turns. Even if you're not doing that many damage, you at least get to tank over and over and over. And we got that Cheryl, let's not forget about Cheryl. If you play Cheryl, you get to not just buy yourself an extra turn, you get to do 200 damage on your last, right? If you play 200 damage, if you know you're gonna get damaged heavily and you have to play a Cheryl on your next turn, make sure you do 200 damage right now, because on the next turn you can't attack, and that's the perfect time to be playing the Cheryl. You can't attack, you play a Cheryl, you attach the energy, and then after that, immediately after playing the Cheryl, you get to reattach and do 200 more damage before it gets knocked out. So we only have 1 copy, but we do have that Pulpad. Let's not forget, 1 copy of Pulpad makes all the difference in the world. And we have Peonia to get either the Cheryl, anything else stuck in the prize. Peonia is going to help us solve that problem, right? If we have Machamp stuck in the prize, Peonia can get it out. If we have Cheryl or Grant stuck in the prize, we can get it out with our Peonia as well. Raihan, we can get anything from the prize if we're lucky, because it's only 3 cards though, but you know, you get the point. Peonia actually makes a huge difference. And if you play Arc Phone, knowing that, you know, you have the 3 cards taken from the prize that you don't need. For example, if you got VIP passes from the 3 cards you chose with Peonia, then you know that the cards that you need that is not inside the deck that you need is from the other 3 positions, then you should be playing Arc Phone to swap with the other 3 cards, right? If you play Arc Phone to swap with the other 3, you would have a higher chance of getting what you need that is not inside the deck already. So if you get really unlucky with your Peonia, you can still save yourself with the Arc Phone, because Arc Phone is not just putting the Dream Ball into the prize, it's also helping you get something out of the prize into your top deck. So Arc Phone is doing 2 things in one turn. Yeah, it's helping you, you know, do 2 things at once, which is really, really good. Really, really good. Especially once you've played your Peonia, right? Because you don't know, you don't actually get to see, what you put into the top deck, but you're gonna draw it out anyways, right? If you draw it out, if you know what you have from the prize, if you can check your deck, then you would be able to play Peonia after the Arc Phone to kind of arrange it necessarily according to what you need. So it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry about that. I made a mistake. My bad. So you don't really need to play Arc Phone before Peonia to be able to get whatever you need from the prize. You can play in whatever order that you want. It's the same thing. So here comes another Regidrago and another Eleki on the bench. Okay. We chose to play Cheryl this turn, I'm pretty sure. Because, well, we have a Machamp on our bench. Okay, we played our Dream Ball on the last turn. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. We played the Dream Ball already. Did the Arc Phone, and that was the second one. That was the second Dream Ball. And the first one is still somewhere in the prize, hidden. I'm not sure where. I have no idea where the fuck the second Dream Ball is. And they still could not kill our Machamp, because 160 plus 120 is not enough. We don't even have a Stone Energy attached. No Lake Acuity, no Stone Energy. So now is the perfect time to be playing. If we don't have an energy for our second Machamp, we should be playing a Cheryl. Okay, we don't have a Cheryl. I think we did our Cheryl already. We played Cheryl on the last turn. One of our last turns. Okay, this I'm it's a bit late. Sorry guys. I'm confused. So let's just play our research to get... We can't play the research, my bad, because we have 6 cards left in the deck. So we should be playing our Escape Rope and Boss. This is where I made the mistake again. We should be playing our Escape Rope and Switch to allow us another extra attack, right? If we don't play the Escape Rope, we cannot draw enough cards into our hand. I forgot that we actually get to kill the Regidrago. We get to kill anything because we did our Strong Arm Lariat for 100 damage. We did 100 damage on our last turn. Killing off the Eleki. That means we get to do 200 damage this turn. We get to kill anything with 200 damage with our active Machamp. We even have the Escape Rope though. We got the Escape Rope to erase the effect. That means we get to attack even if we done 200 on the last turn. So we should have played our Escape Rope and Switch right now, allowing us to draw out the energy with our Bibarel. If we got the energy, we can attach it right now on this turn with our onto our second Machamp. And that actually allows us to play our Strong Arm Lariat immediately on the next turn. And we made the worst mistake I could have done. That means now we need 2 more turns. We need 2 more turns to be able to attack with our second Machamp, because we got no more Raihans. We did not attach any energy from our hand on the last turn. We got a second Oranguru, but we did not. I think we used Primate Wisdom already. We just need 1 Primate Wisdom, right? I don't think we did our Wisdom though. We should have done Primate Wisdom to get something from the top deck. So I think we made a lot of mistakes for this game. So many mistakes, but we still somehow managed to win because they don't have their rods anymore. They got 1 card left in their deck. And they don't have any more Regidragos. So we're forced to pass the turn, not able to do anything but the training court. if they got the energies, if they got the Regidrago, they can actually kill the Bibarel and the Greninja on the bench. If they kill both the Bibarel and Greninja, they got the final 2 prize for the win. So all they need is a Regidrago. This is the final turn. If they have the Regidrago, they win. We could have won much easier, we could have won much faster if we just draw more cards with Bibarel. Because the very first card that we drew this turn, on the last turn, was an energy. That means if we played our escape rope and switch, we would be able to draw the energy out for the attachment on the last turn. That means we are attaching our second energy and we can attack already before the Eleki can do their Terra Spark. But they can't even do the Terra Spark anyways because they got no Regidrago. So we won this game. We made a lot of mistakes though. Like, I'm not proud of this. I'm really not proud of this game, honestly, but I had to show it because we had to show how strong Machamp is. Machamp is actually helping you buy a lot of turns, even against a Regigigas deck. That means they need a lot more time, a lot more strikes, a lot more damage to kill for 1 prize. And they have to think about killing, damaging your bench Pokemon with Terra Spark. That's why we have Manaphy now instead of the Falinks, because I don't think Miltank is seeing play a lot in Standard right now. I don't think people play Miltank that much. They play a lot of Snipes. And I think Manaphy has a lot more value than Falinks. But if you know your opponent is playing a Miltank in a tournament, for example, if you're in a tournament and you're up against a matchup that you can see their deck, you know what they're playing, and if they have a Miltank in their list, you get to put in a Falinks. You get to kill the Miltank early with your Grant. So make sure you play the game smart. If you know they have a bench snipe, play the one with the Manaphy. If they know they have a Miltank, play the one with Falinks. So right now we're up against a Arceus V-Star with Slacking. They got Slacking to do 260 damage. If they play Trinity Nova, they actually get to play Choice Belt with Powerful Energy to do 20 and, well, 50 more damage against VMAXs. That means they're doing 310 damage without Howlucha. If they play Howlucha as well, they get to kill Eternatus with their Slacking, playing Arceus for the energy. So Starbirth is gonna earn them their first damage, their first strike, and then on the next turn, if they get knocked out early, they actually get to do Slacking or another Arceus, depending on which one they charged up. They may choose to play a second copy of the Arceus. Okay, they did Trinity Charge because they go second, so they actually did their first attack already. Trinity Charge 2. Oh my goodness, they charged up the Arceus without a Dunsparce. So they have no Dunsparce in play. That means all we need right now is to evolve the Coalossal and get our Oranguru for the energy. If we can play Oranguru right now, we should be doing it. So let's discard the Peonia. I don't really like discarding it, but we don't really have a choice, I don't think. We have to get the Oranguru with the Ultra Ball. We got a Bibarel already. Oh my bad, we have to get the Coalossal. We have to get the VMAX. Because we got Quick Balls for the Oranguru. We shouldn't be getting the basic with our Ultra Ball. We should be saving our Ultra Ball for evolutions. We should be using it for our evolutions, my bad. So we got the Quick Ball capture. We're gonna capture the Oranguru, and then Quick Ball for another Bidoof, or maybe the Machamp. I think we should be getting the Machamp. So let's discard. Let's retrieve the basic energy with our training card, and then put it at the top deck. Swap it with the top deck with the Oranguru. That means we actually get to do 130 damage with our Eruption Shot on this turn, attaching an extra energy onto our VMAX, and also helping us do GMAX Boulder on the next. That means even with the Cape of Toughness, Slacking cannot avoid the knockout. Unless if they have a Dunsparce. So we get to kill Arceus this turn though. I'm quite happy with that. Like, that alone is enough. We're getting an early start, and we get to draw with Greninja just because we don't need the capture anymore. We only need one capture in this game, honestly. Unless if they pass turns and just give us free turns to get an energy, sorry, to get a basic, an extra basic just to attach a free energy onto something that we don't need. Because we don't need to attach a second capture unless if they play fan. Okay, we don't have the Dream Ball in the prize yet, but at least we got 2 early prize, which is saying a lot. Because there's no way they can kill the VMAX that easily. We even got a Stone Energy, that means they need 350 damage. So they couldn't even do it with the Hawlucha, Choice Belt, and Powerful. They need Melanie right now. They need Melanie and Pass to the Peak. Let's not forget that. They need the Stadium just to attack with the Slacking. So if we play Lake Acuity, we actually are doing 20 less damage to their Pokemon as well. So make sure you're aware of that. Lake Acuity not just reduces damage done to your Pokemon, it also reduces damage done to your opponent's Pokemon if they have water or fighting energy attached to their Pokemon. So any basic, I think it only works on basic energy though, I'm not too sure. If they have water or fighting energy attached to their Pokemon, you're doing 20 less damage. So be aware of that. Sometimes it's better not to play that Stadium just because we're only doing 130 damage to start. If they play Greninja, for example, if we don't get the Grant, we can actually kill the Greninja if we have Lake Acuity in play with Eruption Shot. And we can't play Max Boulder that easily. G-Max Boulder is kind of a late game attack, so we should be expecting to do only 130 for the first 2 strikes if we go second, especially because if we go second, well, if we go second, it's the same thing, right? Because if we evolve, if we got hammered, then it would be a different story, right? If we don't get hammered, the minute we evolve, we would be able to attach our second energy onto the VMAX, and then if we Eruption Shot for an extra energy from the top discard, we actually get to attach an extra 1 on the same turn. That means on our second strike with the VMAX, we get to do our G-Max Boulder if we attach from our hand already. So attach 1 before the evolution, attach another 2 by evolving and doing Eruption Shot, and then on the next turn attach your 4th one to do G-Max Boulder. So that's the power of this Coalossal VMAX from Vivid Voltage. It's a very interesting card. We don't have the heavy boots anymore. It's not heavy boots. What's it called again? Buff padding. We don't have buff padding for Coalossal VMAX anymore to add 50 extra HP to our 4 retreat cost Pokemon. But we do have our Big Charm and Stone Energy. We have our Lake Acuity now. Full Face Guard, you can choose to play that Toll card if you want, because Full Face Guard reduces damage every single turn. If you are playing cards like Honey or Lucky Eyes Pop, then Full Face Guard would be better than your Big Charm, because Big Charm is only adding 30 HP, whereas Full Face Guard works every single turn, reducing damage done to your Coalossal every single turn. That means it's much more difficult for them to pile up those damage counters if they do something like a Sableye, or if they play Crabominable, for example. They need to knock it out on the same turn. If they don't play enough Zigzagoons, if they don't place enough damage counters on your Coalossal, they can't actually kill you with the Crabominable. They probably are playing Inteleon though. If they quick shoot enough times, they can kill it off quite easily, because Crabominable is doing crazy amount of damage. It's doing 60x for each damage counter on your active Pokemon, so it's actually able to kill it quite easily. But they need 3 energies, so it's not that easy to play Crabominable anyways. We got our final knockout for the win. We killed a V-Star, and they don't have... We actually did a boss, because we could have done the Crobat knockout, but we did a boss to kill the Arceus V-Star, because we can, and they don't actually have a Dunsparce in play, which is quite sad. I don't know why they're playing Blissey as well, which is interesting. So Blissey, after you attach that many energies onto your Slacking, once it gets knocked out, Blissey would be the perfect card to play, I suppose, because you get to retrieve those cards, those energies, onto your Blissey, and then if you play heal cards, you get to recover and tank and recover and tank until eventually you get enough energies on the Blissey to do a knockout. It's an interesting strategy. Definitely. So right now we're up against a Grass deck, a Delmice VMAX with Trevenant, And they actually have Rillaboom for the energy. So Voltage Beat with Rare Candy, I'm pretty sure. Arc Phone is a new way to get your stage 2 now, which is very, very fun. I played Arc Phone Dream Ball for my Politoed deck. Politoed, Poliwrath, and also Arc Phone. Arc Phone Oranguru with Dream Ball. So we actually have two variations for the deck. One actually uses Zoroark to get the what's it called again? Poliwhirl into play. To get extra Poliwhirls on the bench so that we get to evolve on the next turn into a Poliwrath or a Politoed, because you can't actually evolve on the same turn if you do Phantom Transformation already. So Phantom Transformation actually requires you to discard the Zoroark and put your Poliwhirl into play this turn. If you're putting a Pokemon into play, that means you cannot evolve it on the same turn. So you're forced to evolve it on the next. If you don't transform early, you may not be able to do extra damage with your Politoed. So Politoed, if you guys are not familiar, has the Lordly Song Leader attack that does extra damage for each stage Pokemon on your bench. So you need to have Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath on the bench. If you have a Politoed, it's not doing extra damage, I'm sorry. So you need Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, and Poliwag on the bench to do 160, I'm not too sure how many, but I think 60 more damage with your Poliwhirl. If you have a Poliwag, you're doing 30 more damage and maybe 120 more damage with your Poliwrath. So if you add them all together, you get to do a total of 280 damage for only 2 colorless. That means you get to play Twin Energy for 280 for a V-Star knockout with your Politoed. And that Dream Ball is helping a lot because it helps you get either your Politoed or your Poliwrath into play. And we actually have to attack with Poliwrath as well. If we don't attack with Poliwrath, we can't actually win a single game. So think about playing your Raihan for the Water Energy, because Poliwrath can do 160 damage. Splash Loop, which is doing a lot of damage. 160 is not bad. 2-hit knockout for a VMAX. So Raihan for Water Energy into play, and then attach a Twin from your hand onto your Poliwrath. Gets you the Splash Loop, and you can't even put the Twin Energy back into your hand because Splash Loop forces you to put the 2 energy back into your hand. And if you put the Twin back, you get to play Politoed on your next turn by attaching the Twin back into your second stage 2 Pokemon. So that's the way to play your Poliwrath and Politoed. It's a very fun deck to play. Like, if you guys haven't checked out my video, go ahead to my channel, and search in the filters, type in Politoed deck, and you'll see I played Arc Phone there as well. Very, very fun. We have Bibarel for the draw engine, I think. You need draw engines for a 1-price deck. Like, you cannot go without those. Either a Chinchino, Bibarel, or Snorlax. I don't like Snorlax, but sometimes you have no choice. Snorlax, Gormandize, and maybe Mew. Celebrations Mew or Jirachi Altaria. Amazing Jirachi is still in the format, so let's not forget about that. Not many people play Jirachi anymore because you are actually forced to put the other card that you don't choose back into the top deck. That means you know what you're going to draw on the next turn, which is kind of a bit annoying, because if you know you have something that you don't want, you're stuck with the same card on the next turn. Whereas with Comfy is kind of better than your Amazing Jirachi. Comfy actually forces you to lose the other card and is actually helping you race through the deck much faster. That means you're more likely to get whatever cards you need later on. Like, you're more likely to kind of draw out the unnecessary cards, right? To kind of discard those unnecessary things, put them into the lost zone. But if you get the necessary cards though, if you get like key cards that you need for later in the game, like your boss, your Cheryl, your Raihan, if you lost them, it would be quite bad. If you lost your Mirage Gate as well, it would be quite terrible. So sometimes Comfy doesn't actually, sometimes Comfy can be destructive. Sometimes it can help you a lot. It really depends on your luck. So we got our first knockout with GMX Boulder. They could have killed us on the next turn. If we don't play our Stone Energy, I think we, I don't think we got our Stone Energy, but we played our Lake Acuity, I think. I'm not sure what we did this turn. I'm not too sure what we did this turn. So we actually played Primate Wisdom for to put the Arc Phone back, because if we get the Arc Phone on the next turn with the Research, my bad, if we get the Arc Phone with the Research or the Marnie, we should be getting the Dream Ball. In pair with the Arc Phone. We need another Oranguru though. We need another Oranguru to be able to put the Dream Ball back into the prize. Oh, we actually shuffled the deck. Oopsie. We shuffled the deck with our Ultra Ball. So that means we're not getting the Arc Phone back. Oh well. We didn't get the Dream Ball anyway, so no loss. So Delmice is doing 120 damage. That means they're doing 240. If we don't play the stadium, if they do a stadium card, if they play a turf field, they can actually kill our Coalossal with 1 energy. Well, it's not enough though, is it? They need 10 more. If they play a Choice Belt, it would be enough. A Choice Belt. Like, it doesn't matter if they have the stadium, they need the Choice Belt. Even with the stadium is not enough, they need the Choice Belt. My bad. Because 240, they need 250. 250 damage to kill off the Coalossal. So they're doing an evolution instead. Because they know we're going to kill them if they pass this turn not doing a knockout. Or evolving. So we're going to do our GMAX Boulder if we can get the switch. But I don't think it's that easy to get the switch right now. Unfortunately, because we got way too many Pokemons in our hand. We're going to bench the Machamp, the Machamp. And then attach the energy onto it. Play our Training Court and Quick Ball. But I don't think we should be benching anymore. We should be saving one bench spot open for our Dream Ball to get the next Machamp. So we can evolve the first one, but we should be thinking about our second one. I think we should be, I think it would be faster for us to get our first Machamp with the Dream Ball, because evolving is quite slow. So we should be getting our Machamp with the Dream Ball first. If we can somehow play the Arc Phone right now. Unfortunately, we're not drawing a lot of cards with Bibarel. We're forced to only draw one card. We have 2 Arc Phones in his deck, so maybe we should be playing one. Maybe we should be just discarding one right now. I don't know what's the best thing to do. We got a VIP, which is terrible. We should not be benching that. I don't know why I did that. We should not be benching that. We were desperate for a switch card. And we didn't... Oh, we got the Cheryl back. We got the Cheryl back. Okay, here comes Swinging Chain for another 30 extra damage. They're doing 60. So here comes the basic Grookey a bit too late. They're benching the Grookey. So you need enough VIP Quick Ball and Captures in your deck if you're playing a stage 2 support just to bench it early, because if you don't bench it early, you can't actually do a rare candy fast enough. So we are not playing a stage 2 support. We're playing a stage 2 attacker, and that means we can actually wait a few turns before we are able to evolve into the Machamp. If we got the Machoke or the Machop, if we get either the basic or the stage 1 in the prize, we cannot actually evolve it stage by stage. That means we're gonna have to wait for the Dream Ball Arc Phone combo to get our stage 2 into play, which is still okay because we can attack still with our Coalossal. We can do a decent amount of damage, 130, one turn at a time until we get our GMAX Boulder for 240, which is a lot. And that actually helps us draw the Dream Ball from the prize to get that Machamp out. And we actually got it. We got our Dream Ball combo, but we just need a knockout though, do we? I don't think we need the Dream Ball anymore. We just need to kill the active, the Delmice. If we got our switch, we got our GMAX Boulder right now. We should be getting the switch though, right? No switch. Okay, we get to play the Grant. Grant is helping us discard 2 more cards from our hand. So let's discard the VIP. And that means we get to draw 2 more cards with the next Bibarel, at least. Let's hope we get Escape Rope or something. Escape Rope is not going to help much though. We need a switch. No switch. Okay. So if they do a boss right now, they can kill off the VMAX. And that means we need 2 strikes with our Machamp to kill off the Delmice. If they choose to knock out the Coalossal, then all we need is to evolve the Machamp, because Machamp now has 300 HP. And they can't actually kill the Machamp because it has Psychic weakness. It doesn't have Grass weakness. So Machamp is not that easy to kill. We got it from the top deck, finally a switch card. So we're gonna do Max Boulder and then Strong Arm Lariat for the knockout. That means we don't actually need the Dream Ball. There's no point playing the Dream Ball. But I think we did it anyways. Let's just put the Cheryl back. We should be playing the Peonia just to draw out the evolution. If we get the evolution on the next turn, we can kill off the Delmice easily. If we don't though, it will be quite bad. They may choose to Rare Candy evolve the Rillaboom and then attack with something else. But they need to switch though. If they don't get the switch card, they're done for. So we can't actually play any cards from the Peonia, but we are discarding it from our hand. That's saying something at least. And we get to play Grant as well to discard more cards. So we don't need the Coalossal, we're just going to put it into prize. We're going to play the Grant. Oh, we don't have a Grant anymore. I think we shuffled it back into the deck. So Grant is now inside the deck. That means it would be a bit more difficult for us to get... Oh, it's in our hand, my bad. Grant is in our hand right now. Because we don't have Chinchino. We don't have Chinchino to discard it from our hand. That means if you put it back into your hand, you're going to have to play it to be able to discard more cards from your hand. Okay. We got Birdkeeper at least. We should be benching the Greninja. And then do a Bibarel before the Birdkeeper and the concealed cards to draw. So we get to draw cards with Greninja, we get to draw cards with Bibarel, and also the supporter card. So we should be playing our cards right. If we play our cards right, we should be able to do... And we just put it into the active. Like, what's happening? We should be doing Birdkeeper. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. We got the energy for the retreat, but we should be using the energy for Greninja's ability instead of for the retreat cost. So I don't know what's happening here. We made another blunder. I'm making so many mistakes for all of my games. It's just ridiculous. So if you play a Birdkeeper for the draw, if you need to draw cards, you should be putting something else as the active. And then Birdkeeper to swap your Machoke into play. That way you get to... Oh, we actually choose to play the Grant. We choose to play the Grant. Oh, we didn't play the Grant. We discarded the Grant. My bad. We discarded the Grant with our Quick Ball. That means you get to discard more cards with the effect. And now we're going to draw the stage 2 with our Ultra Ball. We got the Ultra Ball with our Bibarel. We don't need to play concealed cards. We don't even need to play our Birdkeeper or Marnie. So I think maybe the reason we did that was because we want to draw something else from the top deck. If we draw a Marnie or a Research, we can draw even more cards. So I was kind of mining for some other supporter cards instead of drawing only 3 with your Birdkeeper, because you may not get your evolution with only the 3 triple draw. But we got 2 Bibarels though. We got 2 Bibarel, the Grant to discard our hand, and also the concealed cards with Greninja, Radiant Greninja. It should be able to get us enough cards for the evolution. So I don't think we need to draw that much with our supporter card. So I think I'm just going to end the voice right here and leave you guys to focus on the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this new combo. Today featuring the new Machamp from Lost Origin with the Crisis Muscles ability, adding 150 HP to itself if your opponent has 3 of your prize cards remaining. And we also have our Coalossal VMAX from Baby Voltage doing early damage with Eruption Shot, hitting 130 damage for only 1 fighting energy. We're using our Dream Ball, Arc Phone, and Oranguru combo to put it into the prize, and then draw it back out with our Coalossal by doing a knockout. And once we draw our Dream Ball from the prize, we get to play it for its effect, helping us summon our Machamp directly from the deck by using our Dream Ball. And we also get to play our Stone Energy and Lake Acuity to reduce damage done to our fighting type Pokemon by attaching it from our hand to our Coalossal or even our Machamp, and also playing the Stadium card for the damage reduction. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.
stop loving them. You're not interesting to talk to anymore. Goodbye. But that real love, that love that sometimes is difficult to have, that's that love. This is my first time